Hello and good morning, everyone. It's currently 6 a.m. So if I look a bit tired, that's exactly why. I just woke up and I'm having a tea, so it's all good. But I needed to make this video this morning because time restraints. I've recently started playing Deadlock. My mates are playing it. I want to get to learn it. I want to get better at it. But last night I actually had a couple games by myself and surprisingly addictive. I'll, I'll go into it a little bit more, but I think, I think it's a closed beta at the moment or something like that. So it's not really accessed on Steam unless you have an invite to play from another mate, but that's kind of easy to get. But you can see how much time you can spend into it. Like 500 hours would be like a baseline minimum just getting into the game. So I think it's something I want to spend a little bit more time in conjunction with RuneScape and all the other games I want to play. But just also to give you an idea of where we're sitting is, if we go through here, there's 87,000 people playing this game right now, and it's technically not even out. There is 63,000 people playing Battlefield 6. Fair enough, it's Battlefield 6. But if we look at like the live player count of all the other games, got Counter-Strike 2, that's at 1 million players. Let's see where Deadlock sits. So Deadlock's sitting at 16. What's just above that? So we've got Apex Legends. Surprised that game has a very dedicated player base, like 98,000. That's crazy. Marvel Rivals, which is kind of like another Overwatch, 122,000. I wonder even where Overwatch is sitting. Oh, right here, 84,018. So Deadlock is technically a little bit more popular than Overwatch. But it just gives you a bit of an idea of, okay, well, it's popular, it's trending. So now might be a really good time to get into it. Like me, I'm a new player. I don't know anything. Any game I play, I'm constantly stressing. My map awareness is shite house. So, but either way, the only way to learn is keep playing, right? So I found this video. I think his name is Aztecross. He's a bit of a variety streamer. He does a lot of reviews. He's played Deadlock, and I haven't seen this video, and I want to watch it with you guys just to kind of see his opinion on what he thinks as well. My guess is that he's played a lot of these games, so his opinion is worth it for sure. And I'll give his link in the bio. But it'd be interesting to see what his experience is with it compared to like other MOBAs that he's played, like Dota, etc.
For a long time, I've been ignoring the elephant in the room. That being this little old game called Deadlock. I had many of you actually say, Cross, you need to try it out. It's Valve, it's the next big thing. And for the most part, I felt like you just wanted to watch me suffer, and suffer I have. But for a long time, I ignored this game. A MOBA shooter, I've seen that before. Is Deadlock really that different? But this past week, I finally gave it another go. And let me just say, guys, Deadlock isn't just a hero shooter. It isn't Dota with guns, and it's not another MOBA shooter that we've seen come and go. Cough, cough, Paragon. Deadlock is one of the most addicting games I think I've ever touched. And it's so strange to me because
I agree. Like, it doesn't feel anything like Dota. It doesn't feel kind of anything like a game I've played before. Because again, it's like a 40 version of Dota. However, there's just so much more to it. There's parrying, and by the way, parrying, you need to get down packed. I learned so hard the other night. Like, I was playing as Paige, and people would just constantly heavy melee you, and if you don't parry it, you're just cooked.
brings with it the highest of highs, but the lowest of lows. Fuck you! Fuck! I'm not gonna lie, fellas. On stream here recently, I've been an
Literally what I was
borderline
talking about.
toxic.
That is
I kind of prided
hilarious. I
myself
haven't
at
watched
being
this.
this
That's
beacon
funny.
of positivity in the gaming community that I've represented inside of Destiny for so long. You want to lick my ass now? You want to lick it now? But when it comes to this game, hot damn it, fellas, the beast just comes out. I'm blaming everybody. I'm blaming my teammates. I'm blaming the enemy. Hell, I blame the game. And it's all because I'm trying to avoid blaming myself. Myself for sucking ass. Because there's one thing that Deadlock puts underneath the magnifying glass very quickly, and that's you suck. And you're gonna suck for a long time. And somehow that has created one of the most addicting gaming loops I've experienced in years. Today, guys, we're gonna be going down the rabbit hole of Deadlock's development. Why this game has survived and continued to thrive. And why this game is only going to get bigger as time goes on. But most importantly, a warning. And I'm gonna start off by giving you that warning right now. If you value your free time, if you value your loved ones, if you value your friends and the relationships with those friends, don't play this game, and dare I say,
Yeah, look, I'm not going to show this to my wife, but I can already tell it's going to take up so much of my spare time if I want to put time and effort into this. But, you know, I probably will just dabble into it. But yeah, I can absolutely see why. And he's just saying, like, you're going to suck for an extended period of time. Like, there's no way about it. You're going to play this game and you're just going to have to accept the fact that it's a shit grind and you're going to get berated by your teammates. You're going to get spam hate messages. Like, I was playing the other night and this guy was just taking the absolute crap out of me. I don't know what, but the whole 30 minutes, he just wouldn't let it up. Like, he was on voice chat. He was saying, you're fucking shit at the game. And I was like, I mean, I was pissing it because I love rage baiting, so I respected him. But yeah, like, he was just losing it because I wasn't as good and I was throwing the game and I was a support. But yeah, anyway.
Never play this game with them. I know I'm coming off dramatic right now, but no lie, I think this game, if you were to play, say, with your spouse, you would have a 100% success rate of divorce. At the same time, though, considering just how fun this game is to play, it might be worth it. So without further ado, let's talk why Deadlock has grabbed me by the balls. Now, I've played Deadlock previously, like a long time ago. I gave it like maybe an hour and a half. Really didn't think much about it, jumped to another game, but decided to come back. Mainly because Average Jonas, who I ran into at the High Guard event, was talking so positively about Deadlock. And I thought to myself, all right, I'll give it a go. I'll try it out. This man says it's addicting. It's the best game ever. Hell, why not? Now, for those that are not familiar with this game type, it's called a MOBA, a multiplayer online battle arena. Now, the reason why MOBAs are so addicting is really because you have this huge arsenal of characters you can choose from. You've seen it in things like League of Legends, but it's within those characters that even though, yes, they have preset abilities, you also have a store in-game with a shit ton of items. And
this is the other thing. Like, so there's over, like, I can't remember. Was there, what, 50 characters? I don't know. Probably less. But then there's builds that you can use per character. But don't worry, like, if you're starting, you can just search up, like, a popular build. And then you can use that build. And then what you can do is you can auto queue and buy that build just as you're learning. So anytime you walk near a shop, the shop will automatically buy the next item you need once you have enough souls, which is like your money. And then, like, depending on the build, do you want to go, you know, gun? Do you want to go spirit? Or do you want to go, like, vitality? And it really depends on the character, right? So you got to learn, like, what character uses what. Like, if, you know, Billy has a gun, like, I kind of probably want to go bit of spirit. I want to go heaps of gun and I want to go heaps of vitality because that's kind of what I want to do. And I'm going to push, I'm going to go hard, I'm going to test barriers as well without overextending. Yeah, and then there's multiple abilities you can use. You can use, you know, you've got 4 different abilities you can use, and then you've got another separate area. You can see down the bottom right here where you have all these extra abilities. So pretty much you have to have 3 hands.
These items greatly affect your character's lethality. In a lot of ways, MOBAs are almost like roguelite PvP games. And in Deadlock's case, it's a 6v6 match with 2 players per lane, and the goal, at least initially, is to dominate your lane. Now, this is where Deadlock turns into a 5D chess match. On the surface, it doesn't really look like a lot is happening. I'm sitting there peeking around a corner, I'm shooting some shots into an enemy, but in this moment, there is a dance taking place. And that dance is which one of us is going to overextend first, which one of us is going to make a mistake, which one of us is going to snowball into an unkillable god. And that's exactly what can happen in Deadlock. The right decisions that take place from the very beginning of the match can result in you snowballing into an absolute unkillable being that can 1v6 the entire team. That is the highest of highs. At the same time, if you make mistakes early on, if you overextend, if you allow your enemy to begin snowballing, well, guess what? You just lost the game, not only for yourself, but for your entire team, you piece of shit. You thought you had it, yet you went 1-8. The hell is wrong with you? At what point did you think to yourself, maybe I'm feeding? You see, on the surface, guys, this may look like...
This is basically what I was copying the other night. The guy was relentless because I overextended, I lost, and I was just feeding the enemy team. And yeah, anyway, he just...
like a hero shooter, but it's got so much more depth. And dare I say, Deadlock is one of the most difficult games to get good at. I played League of Legends many years ago, and yes, there's definitely skill involved with League, but Deadlock is a shooter, and it has that extra mechanical requirement on top of being a strategist within the game itself. And dare I say, the strategies get absolutely crazy in this game, and I haven't even explored more than a fraction of it. You see, based on your character and who you're facing off against, you may buy items and then change those items mid-match just to counter different enemy types. And if you look even deeper than that, you look at what they buy and you strategize what they're building and how to counter those builds. Now, that's some big brain stuff that I'm gonna be honest, fellas, we haven't even gotten to, which is exactly why I love Deadlock.
I'm not even there yet.
This beautiful thing called Build Browser. You can literally go and choose a build that someone in the community has already made. Finding a player, you think he's pretty good, you want to use this build, boom. It's almost like dim links from Destiny 2, but without having to actually share a link. This is all in the game itself. To me, this is one of the best things I've ever seen in a game. It allows new players like myself to just jump in and at least be effective. No, we won't necessarily win, but we have somewhat of a fighting chance. And I think that's where Deadlock is seeing some tremendous success, despite it being essentially a closed alpha that's invite only. To me, the game is approachable, but the skill gap is massive. What you're seeing in front of you is my gameplay, and by no means am I a skillful player inside of Deadlock. And it's crazy when I actually pull up the pros in this game, man. And it is insane watching their gameplay. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't think I can ever go back to watching a hero shooter. And it's not that I'm not a fan of Marvel Rivals or Overwatch. It's just the depth that's present here is the equivalent of watching a chess match versus checkers. No lie, I think Deadlock has ruined me because now I expect this level of depth in all PvP games that I play. Now, if you're like me, you may be wondering, where the hell did this game even come from? To understand Deadlock, we really have to go back to 2018. The project wasn't even called Deadlock back then. It was codenamed Citadel and later was named Neon Prime. And let me just say, yes, it looked generic. It was a sci-fi shooter, robots, lasers, very cyberpunk at home aesthetic. It looked like it was trying to chase Overwatch. And characters we know now look completely different. Look at Viscus. He wasn't a green goo ball in a jar. He was a pufferfish in a mech suit. Ivy, she was a robot named Tengu. McGinnis, a welder named Forge. You see, Valve had a working game, but they realized something crucial. Generic sci-fi dies. So in a massive pivot that really would have killed any other studio, they scrapped the art. They threw it out and they brought it back in this 1920s occult noir aesthetic. We're talking steampunk ghosts, Art Deco architecture, demon packs. This is what gave the game its soul. But the art isn't why the game feels so heavy. The reason this game didn't...
That's so interesting. I didn't even know the history of that. But I agree, like anything sci-fi usually, you know, tends to die. I think Cyberpunk's a little bit different though. Like, you know, that's got a different vibe. That's like a steampunky sci-fi. But the game itself, like CD Projekt anyway, you can't really beat it.
end up like Battleborn is really because of one person, or I guess in this case, one amphibian. For years, people saw a dev named Yoshi being active in the Discord, posting patch notes at 3 a.m., balancing numbers like a madman, and it's an open secret in the community that Yoshi is IceFrog, essentially the mastermind behind Dota 2. Now, this explains everything. Other devs tried to make shooters with MOBA elements. They watered it down, but IceFrog did the opposite. He made a MOBA that you would play with a gun. Now, the lanes inside of Deadlock actually started with 4, but they shifted it to 3 in early 2025 to tighten the map. The items, these aren't just simple items. You're buying active items, refresher orbs, silences, and the complexity is something that's not hidden. They threw the
not
whole
abilities,
spreadsheet
items.
in your face, and they said, learn it. And then came the hook for me. Outside of the gameplay loop of, yes, snowballing into an unkillable being that wipes an entire team, it started very small. Soul denial. You see, inside of other MOBAs, you kill a thing, and then you get gold, or some form of currency, which is pretty straightforward and very simple. Inside of Deadlock, though, you kill a thing, but a soul floats up, and then you have to shoot it to secure it. But at the enemy...
Yes, that is another thing that I need to get good at. So if you kill like one of these little minions, I don't know the name of them, then a little soul will arise from the top of them. So you have to shoot the soul to get it, or the other enemy team can shoot that soul and deny it. Like, there's just layers to this game.
enemy shoots it first, you lose it. This single mechanic, in my opinion, changes everything. You see, it turns that first 10 minutes of the game into this high-stakes duel of constant pressure on your enemy, which is anything but passive. See, a lot of people tend to lane very defensively, and in some cases, even passively, but that already starts the snowball effect in your enemy's favor. At the same time, if you happen to have been killed a few times, but you're just like the best denier of souls,
nice pushing.
There's always a way to make a comeback, and that deepens that chess match, where there is only so many souls on the map, and you yourself are fighting for it every single second. You're controlling the battlefield, and it literally all starts right there in your lane. Now, you probably noticed some of the movement here in this game is pretty trippy. And yes, that is arguably one of the things that separates Deadlock from so many other games. Deadlock is all about stamina management and how you move around the map. See, every time you slide, you have infinite ammo. But every time you dodge, that consumes stamina. Every time you double jump, that consumes stamina. And literally conserving your stamina, although will eventually become second nature to you, is something that's extremely important, not just when it comes to...
And I think that's another thing is I run out of stamina, ammo so much, especially when I'm playing gun. So learning to slide shoot is key, but it's a skill that you learn over time.
Getting out of dangerous situations, but also just maneuvering around the map. If you notice something about the map here, where most MOBAs are flat, Deadlock is a jungle gym. Everything here is so vertical, from the zipline systems to the air vents that push you up. And what's even crazier is that this doesn't just stop from the street level up. The fight takes place even in the sewers, in the alleys. Hell, there's these little cubby holes that if you're small enough, you can fit inside and escape enemies. The two areas that I feel like Deadlock really separates itself when it comes to that skill gap is in your movements, but also in your mastery of the map. Understanding where everything is present, understanding where there is an entry point, there is an exit point, and how to cut off those enemies. Because even though the fights do take place in those lanes, they 1000% will break out to every other area of the map, from the rooftops down into the sewers. And how you maneuver around the map and control those various resources is how you chip away at your enemy and eventually overtake them. Now, this is not necessarily a guide to Deadlock. Believe me, we're nowhere near there. But this is my observation, at least over the past week. And what this really equates to is that in my mind, I go, okay, Cross, how long will it take us to master this game? And to that, thousands of hours. This is a game that I feel like I
said before, 500 hours is entry. I can already tell it.
You can easily sink thousands of hours in. Hell, even just learning all the different heroes, which play vastly different from one another with their own intrinsic stats, from like movement speed to different scalers. If you were to like sit down and learn each one of those, oh my God, dude, like 10,000 plus hours. But let's just say, okay, you just want to take a few of those, maybe 4, 5 at most to truly master. I still think you get thousands of hours out of this game. Not one match that I have actually played in Deadlock has felt like the next. weeks, I really feel like every single one has been a different experience. Not just because I might be playing a few different characters here and there, but because of the different enemies I'm going up against, and that in itself changes the meta. On top of the varying skill levels. It's this type of variability, though, that exists in Deadlock that makes it so addicting, and I completely understand why people play this game all day, every day. And what's even crazy is that this game is not even completely out, which takes us to that mythical 1.0 launch. Let me just say, guys, this is Valve. They don't really operate on our time. They don't really even do roadmaps.
No, they
don't give release dates. They don't really even promise anything. They kind of operate on Valve time. That roadmap is essentially silent until an update hits you in your Steam library at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, which is crazy. But if we look at how they handled Dota 2 and CS2, you can kind of read the tea leaves. Right now, we are in the viral beta phase. The invite system is the marketing, and they are essentially stress testing the servers and letting the community balance the game for them. Yoshi/IceFrog is watching the data, not the calendar, which means we really only have 3 things standing between us and a full 1.0 release. Number 1, the ranked ecosystem. The moment Valve drops a visible ranked mode with leaderboards, that is the soft launch. The second thing is the hero roster. Now, I believe
which they already have. So you need to play, like to play ranked, you need to have 60 completed games on standard, not there's on standard, and then you need at least 15 wins on 3 characters. So you want to really try and get those wins within those standard matches, so you're not just grinding. But like I'm trying to do 1 page, and I haven't even like decided who I'm going to do for my other 2 yet. But it really weeds out all the bots and all the I can't think of the name. It's very early. Starts with S, and they just make a new account to play the game at a lower level. Smurfs, which I think is a really good idea. But damn.
That the roster here is really solid, but Valve is not going to launch until the meta is diverse enough. And from what I've at least seen online, it seems like they're looking to get that Dota depth before they open the floodgates. And the third thing is really that esport push. Even though, yes, I find Deadlock to be an incredibly fun game, Valve is not making this game for just fun. They are building the next international. The roadmap will end with a multi-million-dollar tournament, with Deadlock being built for spectators. From the verticality, the team fights, the soul denial, this game is made not just to play, but also was made to be watched. Now, the time frame for this, I have no idea, guys. I wouldn't hold your breath. For the time being, the only way you can get into the game is if you send out an invite, which you yourself can do if you're in the game. And if you're in a situation where you're actually needing to get an invite, we do have a Discord channel, we'll link down below, where folks literally just send out invites all day long.
By the way, isn't that the best marketing idea you can do for a game? Like, I mean, look, at the end of the day, they don't care how many people are invited, but what they're trying to say is that I want you to play the game. I want you to invite your friends, and we're going to kind of semi-gatekeep it. So when you play it, you feel like you're playing a gatekeep game when it's not really a gatekeep game. I think that is amazing, and that adds to the popularity of it. So whoever thought of that idea, you know, give them a pay rise, because that is unreal.
Talked about last week when we talked about No Rest for the Wicked. Deadlock is also another game that I wouldn't just sit around and wait for its full release. You're missing out, guys. This is a fantastic game. And I think a lot of people get in their heads where they're like, oh, the game's not fully released, therefore it must not be good yet, or I shouldn't give it my time yet. And that couldn't be further from the truth. If anything, right now is one of the best times to get into this game before those floodgates open. What I do expect to happen with Deadlock, though, is that I think this is going to be one of the most dominant games that could potentially absorb many of the top PvP games out there, and for good reason. It's got so much here, guys, that even myself, who's not even a diehard MOBA fan, man, I play as casual as they come. Even I absolutely love both playing and watching this game. It's a good one, guys, and I definitely suggest checking it out. Although, again, like I warned you earlier, if you value your free time, you may want to hold off on this one. I don't think I've played a game that eats up my time as fast as this one. 1 hour turns into like 8-9 hours in a blink of an eye. To the Deadlock community, Keep doing you, man. Keep giving feedback. What all of you have accomplished over the past few years has really been incredible. I wasn't necessarily sold on this game when I first played it. Granted, I didn't give it much time, but where it is now, hot damn is it special. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button.
Yeah. So look, this guy is Aztecross. Subscribe to him, give him a follow because he does a lot of these reviews on many different games, and I just think he's pretty funny. I like watching a couple of his videos. But anyway, thanks for making it to the end, guys. Hopefully I can push more content on Deadlock. Maybe just a couple of videos of me just genuinely playing the game for the first time, learning, and I think they'll be pretty good to watch as well. All right, guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video, hey?